everyone, and welcome to the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. My name is Vanita Lambert, and I am the host of the show every single week. And every single week, I have the honor of bringing on a community activist or a very special guest to share information about how to better yourself in the community. Today, I have Miss Jessica Alvarado, and she's going to be sharing with us about a few different things. Jessica, first of all, welcome to the show, and thank you for coming on and sharing with our community.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Vanita.
You're very welcome. You can just start off by telling our audience a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and how you got started on this journey that you're going to talk about, which is real estate.
Yes, it
well,
is
one of them anyway.
Yes, of course. Well, it has been quite a journey for sure. First of all, I'm a second generation hairdresser. My father was a hairdresser, so I grew up in that space, in the barbershop and salon world as a young child. So I naturally fell into that as well. I owned a salon in Bridgeport for many years and moved it to Stratford.
Okay.
Which is Salon 210 on Boston Avenue in Stratford.
What's the name of it?
Salon 210.
Okay, Salon 210.
That grew into, I always had a heart and passion to teach my talents. So I began a cosmetology school. And that was a journey of its own to mentor young future stylists. And I did that for quite some time. And then I took a step back from it to start my family. My wonderful husband, Fernando Alvarado, he has a radon mitigation company. So I helped him with his business. And I got into real estate because that works hand in hand with the real estate market. So that has been wonderful to, as I develop my network as a stylist, also be able to provide real estate services to my network. So that was amazing, an amazing transition for me and something new. And that was in my 40s at that time.
And that was very smart too.
So I highly, with that hand in hand, I'd love to still mentor beauticians and give them wisdom, of how to utilize their networks in different ways, and working smarter and not harder.
That's right.
So that has, given way and given the birth to this nonprofit, which is Northeast Lifestyle Inc. Life being living, our living conditions, and style, the beautician side of me. So that's kind of where lifestyle came about.
That's so cool.
Clicked for me. Yes. So Northeast Lifestyle Inc. Serves 3 pillar communities. One is beauticians, and a space free of competitiveness, but to learn from one another, to set up retirement plans, to as being the majority of us are completely self-employed. And we're working harder and harder and harder instead of smarter. So I think the real estate is a great niche to really tap into. So I'd love to share that with my fellow beauticians. And so any stylist looking for support, looking for ways to invest, and set up retarement planning.
Right.
That's the space that I'm creating.
Okay, what a great way to give back to the community. Starting with the cosmetology, because a lot of folks, straight out of, like for me, for example, when I finished high school, I had to work and I couldn't afford to go into college, and I made too much money to get financial aid. So I was kind of stuck in the middle. So you have options. And then if you have children, you can make your own schedule. And you could build your clientele with real estate and teach folks about that. There's a lot of folks out there that do not understand how important it is to own property. Whether it's a townhouse or condo or a house, and what type of legacy that creates for the family, for your family. So why don't you, tell us just a little bit about that. I mean, I have my own ideas. I'll probably chime in, but
of course, please do, please do. But in talking to people all day, which is what we do as I serve the community, is many don't have the knowledge of taking those steps into home ownership, or there's, they feel intimidated, or they'll never be able to attain it, and it is totally attainable. So with, that's another space that I want to provide for the public, is workshops and bringing in lenders and breaking down, building your credit score and setting up financial legacy for your family. So that is what I'm really passionate about as well.
Well, if you need help with the financial literacy side
Yes.
and the retirement, I am definitely
Yes, I'll be bringing you in.
Independent insurance
Yes.
agent. I could
Yes.
set up, tax-free retirement plans, which
Correct.
a lot of folks do not know about unless you're in the insurance business.
Yes, absolutely.
And how tax-free retirements keep the IRS out of your pocket. But we won't go down that road. I want to talk more about real estate. And, from my perspective, I bought my house in 1988. And I bought my house from my brother. And at that time, I had a 1-bedroom apartment in Bridgeport. And, I was like in my 20s, we were going to New York Giant games. I was just having fun.
Yes.
I had no kids and
Right.
wasn't even thinking legacy. And unfortunately, I was raised by a single parent. Well, at least I had one parent. Some people have none. A single parent in the inner city of Bridgeport, Father Panning Village, which there was no information.
Right.
There was, and that's what I'm passionate about.
Yes.
That's why Jessica is here to provide information, to have a place to go. Even if you have your phone, you need to know what questions to ask Google.
Absolutely.
And so this is so important that you own some type of property.
It's so important.
At that time when I bought the house, my brother just said, we grew up poor, single family, 7 kids. He said, I just want to sell the house to somebody in the family, because he was having another house built. And I said, well, if you give me a good price, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
I wasn't even
go.
thinking legacy or
Right.
anything. But then later, when I have my kids, I have something to leave my
Yeah,
children to.
Absolutely.
And if you think about it, in 1988, I have like a 3-bedroom, just a regular raised ranch on, like, I don't know, it's a third of an acre. I don't know how much land it is. But at that time, I only paid $145,000 for it.
Look at that.
Now, for my sons, it's worth 300 and something.
Absolutely.
So if you could eliminate for your family, just imagine your children, your grandchildren not having to pay rent. How much more successal would they be?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why you need to think about legacy.
Absolutely. It's so important. And to teach our young ones, it doesn't matter how young, to start saving, because saving, you can make all the money in the world, but if you're not saving, if you're not investing, what are we doing?
Oh, Well, I got some cliches for that. It's not about what you make, it's about what you keep.
Absolutely, 1,000%.
It's about what you keep.
Yeah, it's your habits and establishing healthy habits. So financial literacy is so important, and if we could teach our children that in the next generation, how wise is that, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So, so those are the two communities. Two of the communities that I serve for Northeast Lifestyle, but also what's forming and taking off faster than anything is a women in business. Women-owned business community. I just gathered a bunch of women together to share what I was starting, and now this is kind of taking off on its own. So we're setting up more and more networking events. We have one coming up with Carmen Nieves, actually, on April 28th, to have coffee and see what she provides in her space. So we're supporting one another's businesses.
Right.
And so I highly recommend, if you're a woman, if you're in business, to definitely reach out to me. My information's right on the screen there. And I'd love to support you and network with one another.
Okay. And another thing, this information is on YouTube. You can download the link, you can share it, and share it with everyone. I love the women in business. This is Women's Business Month, right?
Yes, it is. It certainly is. I left the best for last. So yes, and we're also, an event I'm going to host in my business space is going to be in May.
Okay.
May 9th, the Friday before Mother's Day.
Okay.
Celebrating the businesses that we have visionary and brought forth. So that's what, not every woman in our collective group is a mother, but we've all given birth to this vision that we believe in. So we're going to honor that. And I'd love to extend the invitation to any woman in business. May 9th, definitely reach out to me so I can forward the invitation.
Now, is this going to be a Zoom? Is it going to be live in your...
It's going to be in person in my establishment.
Oh, okay. All right. Make sure I get
Absolutely.
an invite.
You certainly will, Vanita.
Oh, my God. And then I can have you back on my podcast because I do a podcast as well.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I am so proud of all women in business, but especially Black and brown women in business, because we have come so far. We still have so far to go, but we let nothing stand in our way. We knock down barriers and we ignore the noise. And we just keep going forward. And that's what you have to do. Because believe me, in my business, there's tons of rejection.
Oh, yeah.
But get all the no's out of the way, and then there's going to be a yes.
Correct.
And just, stay true to whatever your passion is.
Yes, your core values.
Look at how beautiful her hair is.
Thank you.
I need to go to her place and get my hair done.
Anytime.
I figure it's so windy out, I'm going to just put it up because I knew it was going to be like all a mess. But, you stuck with your passion. You have your cosmetology business. And then you built that with your real estate business.
Yes.
And that's pretty awesome.
It's been very, very rewarding, and
profitable.
Very profitable. It is profitable, and I'm thankful to have learned to step back but step forward at the same time. You know what I mean?
So step back and step forward, meaning remember where you started, and
yes, honor where I started, but also working smarter, not harder. Being present for my family, being independent. Like, I don't have complete storefront hours the way I used to back in the day. Now I show up for my appointments, and outside of that, I'm flexible. I can do things like this in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? On a Friday, I can be with my family. I can block off a couple hours and do something, with a girlfriend. I can. You have to take care of yourself.
We make our own schedule.
Absolutely.
That's what I do.
You have to. You take care of yourself. You know what I mean? And sharing that forward is what I'd love to do.
Exactly. And you know what? Putting that all into perspective is, I was always told you can have it all, but not at the same time.
Yes.
I feel like I can have it all sometimes at the same time, because I work full time. My house is clean, and after I leave here, I got to go home and take care of my dog because he's sick. And I make my own schedule, and I get to do what I'm passionate about and what I love the most. And one of my favorite things is meeting new people and sharing information.
Yes.
And so I would never give this up.
Right.
Unless it just, end it.
Exactly.
They would have to drag me out of here because,
for sure.
I mean, look what we're doing. We're just sitting around talking, and we're trying to inspire and share information with other people to give them ideas and resources to call us and just ask questions. It doesn't have to be hair. It could be any other kind of business that you want to start. Women in business in general.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
to create your own. And I think we're at a time where, I hate to bring politics into everything, but you can't help it.
Right.
But we're at a time here. I feel like we're at a crossroads where, with all the DEI and all of that, we need to be able to support ourselves and start our own businesses and not rely on so much the 9 to 5 if we can help it. And unfortunately, I feel my heart breaks for all the federal jobs and things that people lost in a week.
They certainly
Imagine.
did. Yeah.
You figure if you had a federal job, that was like the best job in the world. That's what I was told anyway.
Right.
You got great benefits and this, that, and the other. But these people are devastated and their lives are turned upside down. So I'm not saying don't get a federal job. I'm just saying have a backup plan.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Think
if
of
you
yourself
can do
in the hair, cut hair or cook or whatever it is.
Yeah, develop your own and be self-sustainable no matter what comes and goes with it, with the politics.
So let's just talk to someone out there that wanted to start a real estate business. Okay. What would be the first thing? Well, I know the first thing they do, have to pass the test.
Yes.
You have to take the classes and you have to pass the test. I actually took the classes and I passed the real estate test.
wonderful.
And I also took the classes and passed the real estate test for, the insurance test. But I did insurance first because I said whatever test I passed first. Because
Yeah.
I was like, I had no money, I had to work. That's the route I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And I took insurance.
Got it.
But the first thing would be to get a class. Now, how would they get a class?
Well,
Where would they start? Is it free? Can they get financial aid? You know, where's the beginning?
It's not free, but it's
Okay.
definitely not, too costly. I called the Greater Bridgeport Board and took a virtual class, and it was during COVID. So that helped. I was home with my kids anyway. I couldn't see people, so that's what I dove into, and it, the test was challenging a bit, but once I passed, finding yourself with a good brokerage, a good community that's going to support you, is everything. I'm with Better Homes and Garden, Gaetano Mara in Monroe, and the support is unmatched. I'm telling you. So that is where I do my real estate out of.
Oh, okay. So you could do it online. So if
Yeah.
you have a job, and of course you're not going to quit your job and just dive into this, you want to establish yourself. You could do
Yes.
it, take the class online, pass it, get with a good company part-time.
Yeah.
Because real estate, you could kind of, like you
Yeah.
just said, make your own
Yeah,
hours, work a
absolutely.
few hours here and there. The commissions are the bomb. I can tell you
Yes.
that. See her smiling?
Commissions are great. When
The
it's good, it's
commissions
good.
are the bomb.
Yes. When it's good, it's good. Yes.
So you don't have to work all the time.
Sure.
But once you do that, and when you say support, get with a good company
Yes.
where you can shadow
Yeah, absolutely.
a manager and learn the business.
And learn the business, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be your starting point.
That's-
Then what? You want to
And then
strike
you
out
want to
on your
network.
own?
Yeah. Well, I recommend staying with a community. You know what I mean? Because we're better together. You know what I mean? Laws change all the time. You want to have resources at your disposal. So
Yep.
that's
And
what
if
I
you
would-
have a bad week or a month, you can work with another agent and you split commissions.
yeah,
We
you
do
can
it
work
all
it
the
out.
time.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
help each other.
You help each other.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And just the importance of having your own is, I think there's nothing better than ownership.
Yes,
It gives
I
you
agree. Yeah.
security, it gives you pride.
Yes.
And when you can pass that on, it's just a great feeling
Yeah.
inside.
And
Makes me smile.
It does, right? And just the independence, and then your children are watching, you know what I mean? And they start developing ideas of their own, of what they could do with themselves, and it's a beautiful thing. I've seen my kids, my son got into like printing t-shirts and selling them, and my daughter's selling paparazzi jewelry because they see I'm doing, it's just, they just naturally fall into these things. And so it's great to see.
Yes, you got
Yeah.
little entrepreneurs
I
all
tell
over
you,
her
we'll
house.
go to the
And
festival
pretty
in
soon
the
the
summer.
nieces and nephews will
Oh,
be
yeah.
starting some kind of business. And that's what it's all about,
Yes,
though.
yeah, it's awakening parts of them, and so then I try to, encourage them, and I've rented festival tents, and then support their little sales. It's so cute,
Exactly.
and then we take that and teach them financial literacy with, and
Exactly.
these are things you're mentoring their brains, and setting them up for independence.
Yeah,
So,
and they're just, you're teaching by example.
for sure.
And there's really nothing better than that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, tell us a little bit more about your hair business, your
Okay.
beauty salon.
So my
Where is
hair
it again?
It's on Barnum Avenue,
Okay.
and I've switched concept completely. My business establishment on Barnum Avenue in Stratford is called Northeast Salon Suites, and I took over a commercial building that was offices, and I made them independent salon suites. So stylists can rent these rooms fully equipped and come and go and handle their own personal business.
Wow. So you have a commercial building.
Yes.
How many individual rooms do you have?
I have 6.
6 rooms. Are they all rented?
They're not fully rented, so there is opportunity.
If
There
you
is
need a space, you
opportunity.
hear that? That's why I'm asking.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to come and show it to you. It's top notch. I mean, every time somebody comes, like sometimes I'll go back and forth online with somebody who's interested, but once you step in, they're sold.
Wow.
because the ambiance, the support, it's just, the pictures are, it don't do it justice. So I highly recommend coming in. If you're a hairdresser or a beautician, I would love to mentor or support in any way that we can.
And you know what? That saves like a person just starting their business.
Correct.
You don't have to go out and buy equipment.
Right.
That's or rent it.
Absolutely.
I know when my brother first started his cleaning service, he started a cleaning service. He cleaned the buses, like way back
Okay.
when the Greyhound
Oh,
buses,
wow.
like
Yeah.
and the trailways.
Yes.
He had to rent all the equipment,
Yeah.
so you don't have to go out and rent the equipment. It's already there for you.
Yes.
Next time we do a show, and you are coming back
Okay.
again, I want you to bring us clips so we can put the clips right
Oh,
on the
I would
screen.
love to. Yes, I
You
can
could
do that.
Show them,
Yes.
exactly what the rooms look like. Now,
Absolutely.
can you use the space for anything other than salons? I mean,
Well, the
'cause-
ones I have currently are set up that
Are
way.
set up just for
Yeah, they have a
salons?
a private hair wash sink, a station,
Okay.
lighting, everything they need. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get an invite over here.
Absolutely. Well, I did invite you to our event on May 9th.
You know what?
Yes.
There's just a lot of people that
Yes.
don't know that. How
Yeah.
important is that to know that if you wanted to do hair, and I know there's a lot of people out there that knows how to do hair that
Absolutely.
would love to start their own business, but just doesn't have all the tools.
Correct.
Now, you can talk to this woman. Her phone number and email address and everything is right on the screen, and just see if this will be a good fit for you.
And even if
'Cause
they're
I
not
didn't
ready,
know that was available.
absolutely. And if they're not ready for that level, at least get with a community, because
Mm-hmm.
I plan to do events with with beauticians and talking about ways to do your business differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We don't. Sometimes when we're in it, we don't see other ideas.
Exactly.
So
Like you can share the
collectively,
space.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be responsible for the entire space. You could do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you could share it with someone that does Tuesday, Thursday,
Absolutely.
and Sunday, or whatever. So
Yeah.
you split the cost and everything, so it's not
without
so much
overhead,
for
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean,
It's amazing, though. I
It's
just
a great
thought about how
opportunity.
Nice that is.
Thank
I,
you.
yeah, I haven't heard of anything like that. Where it's already set up and you could just walk right into it.
Yeah.
Because normally you have to put together a business plan.
Right.
Okay, you got to write up this business plan.
Correct.
If you're an entrepreneur, I've
Right.
done that before. It's long and it's boring, but it's necessary, and you have to do it. And the reason you have to do it is so that banks will loan you
Yes.
money.
Yes.
They'll look at your plan and say, "Oh, this is a good plan. I think it's worth loaning you 10,000," or it's not.
Right.
But you don't even have to worry about that now, or
Right.
parts of it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
go too far into it. I don't know what's
Yeah.
involved, but I'm sure there's some type of vetting process or whatever to make sure everyone, can rent it or
For
is
sure.
qualifies for it. You
Absolutely.
just can't roll up in there with nothing.
Well, you have to be licensed
You
for
gotta
one,
have
right?
something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
you
yes.
have to have your
Let me stop
cosmetology
talking. Let
license.
her do the
no,
talking.
but basically, it's pretty much that simple. You rent the room, and the room is fully equipped. You
Mm-hmm.
can market it as your own independent business. And I love that. Before I used to teach to license them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do after license and continuing ed. Because styles always change, new products come out, and so always providing that so we can always grow and learn. So I think it's a great opportunity
Wow,
to
it
start your
is.
own independent business, but not have all the overhead on you. You know what I mean? I wish I had this opportunity. That's why I know it's a need. I wish I did when I started out.
So she's making it easier for you guys, and that's what we should do. The next
Yeah.
generation, we want to make it better
For sure.
and easier, and inexpensive, if at all possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is a great plan. I love it. So we have, you know what? I love doing this show. We have about 3 minutes left. It goes
Oh,
so
wow.
fast.
It
We already
certainly
went
did.
through 25 minutes.
Wow.
So I'm going to have you back again.
Yes.
But I just want to leave the last 3 minutes for you. What would you like to share with our audience about all three of your businesses? And I'll chime in on the financial literacy. I forgot to ask you, do you teach that as well?
Yes, correct.
You
And
do?
I'm going to have
Are you licensed?
No, so I'm going to have you come
I'm
in and
licensed.
speak
I gotta be-
financial
see?
literacy, because that is the foundation.
Yeah.
That needs to be shared, right?
Exactly.
To take the steps into home ownership. So, and a lot of people just don't have access to that information. So,
And if you had issues with your credit, I mean, Who hasn't? My credit used to be a wreck. Now I have great credit.
Yeah, look
so
at that.
you if something, as long as you're here, you can always fix it.
Absolutely.
You can always fix it. So I love the fact. I love what you're doing for the community. I want to thank you. I mean, it takes a community.
It does.
Everybody needs a little help, and you're very successful in not one but two areas. And what I love about you the most is, number one, she was excited to be here, and I love that.
Yes.
And number two, you want to bring somebody with you. This is not just about you. It's something that's bigger than you. It's about your community, especially the Black and brown community.
Absolutely.
To help someone and teach someone.
Correct.
And help them become successful.
Right. Why
so
not?
Yeah. So that we're all successful.
Absolutely.
I
know.
Such a nice person.
Thank you so much. But it's true. All the things that took us long to learn, right? Why not pass it on?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it just brings good things back to us in the end. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I love sharing. I love community. I love networking. So please, I invite you to come reach out. There is something for everyone.
There is.
So.
And one last question. Are you bilingual?
I am.
Oh, see that? Yes. If you don't speak any English at all.
Se habla español.
There you go. So say something in Spanish really quick that they can contact you.
Claro que sí. Por favor, me llame para saber cómo comprar casa, como cualquier estilista que necesita espacio. Estamos aquí para apoyar, a la orden.
Ditto. I don't know what you said, but it sounds very nice.
God bless you all. Que Dios te bendiga.
Thank you so much for being on the show, and you are definitely invited back.
Wonderful.
This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.
Yes, we are.